Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2016 mid-month readings. I am still using the Gilded Tarot deck, and even though we're focusing more on the last half of May than the month entire, I'm still going to be using the same 8-card spread with an additional 9th card as your crowning card. I was going to be using a new set of tarot cards that I've been familiarizing myself with the last few weeks, but because of the energies I keep getting off of them, I made the decision to use them just for my finance and career readings when I do personal finance and career readings, although I may at some point this summer begin to post some general business readings for all of you. So for the time being, I'm still using my beloved Gilded. So thank you, always thank you to all of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. Your feedback and your comments and your love and support have been so welcome and so appreciated. I'm so grateful for all of you who continue to follow. Thank you so very much. And please do keep those comments coming. I rarely have time to respond to all of them except perhaps to like them. But I do read all of them, both the ones that you put on the channel directly and the ones that you send through me via email. So thank you very much for taking the time to write your feedback, and don't stop. And thank you always to those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings. It is a pleasure and an honor to read for you, and I'm always grateful to have even the shortest, most momentary place in your life and the trust that you allow me to have when I read for you. So thank you very much for those. And for any of you who are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more information and detail on myself, the services I offer, and my contact information. And you can also email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I do readings full-time, so I work pretty diligently to get you a reading as quickly as possible, almost always within a week. My current turnaround time is around 1 to 4 or 5 days, depending on whether you want recorded or live and what time zone you live in. So let's get right into this. This reading is for Libra for May 2016 mid-month. And I thank you so very much for the last 5 signs that I am putting out probably a day or two later than I normally like to. I like to get all the mid-months out by the 16th. But scheduling and travel has kind of made it a challenge this month. So thank you very much for your patience and waiting for yours. I will have all of the rest of them out by tomorrow evening. As always, these are general readings, so always check your rising and your moon sign as well as your primary sun sign, because you may find that some months and some readings, your rising and your moon sign may resonate for you more predictably than your sun sign. And also some months and some readers, some months and some readings where other readers will resonate for you a little more predictably than the ones you regularly follow. There's a lot of great tarot readers out there. And at the end of the day, it's really about you getting everything you need to get as clear a picture of the path ahead as possible. So shop around and find the ones that you feel you relate to the most. And for those of you who include me in that group, my gratitude and thank you. So Libra, what does the remainder of May hold for you? May 2016, mid-month for Libra. It is a little unseasonably warm here in Northern California today. And with this mop of hair, it makes the back of my neck feel very hot. Libra, May 2016, mid-month. Libra, my lovely air sign of Libra. Show me Libra for the remainder of May 2016. Libra. Okay, we begin with the Four of Cups, followed by the Three of Wands, the King of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Cups, the Lovers, followed by the Six of Wands, and the Knight of Wands, followed by the Queen of Pentacles. And as your overall crowning energy and theme from the bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card. Let's take a look, Libra. Okay, let's begin. So we find ourselves in the middle of May 2016, which is right when I'm recording this, with the Four of Cups, followed by the Three of Wands. So the Four of Cups, Cups is governed by the element of water. It's a suit all about our emotions and feelings. It's also about love and relationships as well, how we relate to people in the world around us. And the Four of Cups is, it can point towards feeling, Libra, like in the middle of May 2016, you find yourself kind of at a place perhaps of boredom, of feeling just kind of a sense of lethargy, of feeling kind of perhaps disconnected, without an anchor, maybe without a sense of direction, or just bored really. There's some kind of energy about, I just keep getting kind of an sort of feeling. You can see on the front of this card, this young man is sitting in the grass reclining against a tree. There are three beautiful goblets next to him in the grass, upright and full, and there's another beautiful one being offered to him out of the sky from this hand, which almost implies a divine blessing, a divine gift or opportunity of some kind. But he's not showing either any interest in the goblets that he has already by him, or any interest or enthusiasm in the one that's being offered to him. And again, this card can point towards, I'm really just kind of getting a feeling of boredom, kind of dissatisfaction. I think for some of you, it's going to just represent wanting, it, it's almost a feeling of being done, kind of like you're over something. You're tired of doing something, and you're wanting something else. You're dreaming about something else, fantasizing about something else. And for some of you, I'm looking over these cards to try and get kind of an idea of what specifically this might be. And of course, it's going to resonate differently, as it always does, because there's so many of you watching, and you all have such different backgrounds and stories. And some of you, this won't resonate at all. Uh, you have a fairly even scattering of the suits here. We have a couple of pentacles, a couple of cups. The only thing we don't have is swords, so not a lot of mental energy, perhaps this for the next couple of weeks. We do have one more card in the suit of wands. So for some of you, this could be point towards something in career or business or a job of some kind. Wands also deal with creative and artistic expression, as well as career and business. So for some of you who are of the more artistic bent, or are an artist, you may find yourself in a place where you're feeling writer's block, if that applies, or just kind of not knowing what to do next, or perhaps being involved in something that you're no longer having interest or enthusiasm in. I'm not so sure if it's a sense really of being blocked as much as it just doesn't seem satisfying anymore. For some of you, this could represent a relationship. We do have a couple of cups cards. Although I'm not getting that, however this resonates for you, Libra, whether it's career, an artistic project, relationship energy, I'm not getting that there's anything really negative or traumatic at the root of this. It just feels kind of like almost a sense of wanting something different, or just, it could be just those spring energies, feeling kind of restless, wanting to do something else, but not exactly knowing what. Maybe a little bit bored in your partnership, but not for any particularly tangible reason. Maybe just a little tired at work. It could be perhaps that you need perhaps a little bit of a break. Although the cards are kind of pointing strongly about staying the course for just a little bit longer, and being a little more grounded. But however it resonates for you, Libra, it looks like in the middle of May 2016, there's just this desire to do something else, anything else. You just don't know what. You just feel kind of unsatisfied, unfulfilled, maybe a little bored, maybe just kind of over something. Now, this is going to lead you to wondering, and for some of you, I'm getting kind of a waiting energy. You've invested in something, you've put a lot of work or effort into something, and you're waiting to see what the results are. And this energy is kind of that in-between time, that waiting energy of, perhaps wanting to do something different, but not being able to, because you're waiting to hear on information, or you're waiting to see what the results of something are. That Four of Cups card is accompanied by the Three of Wands. Now, Wands is Wands is a suit that's ruled by the element of fire and air, so it's a very dynamic combination. And the suit of Wands is a pretty dynamic suit. It's about change, movement, action, power, forward momentum. However, out of all the cards in the suit of wands, the three of wands is probably the most passive because it's a card more, it's not action oriented. This isn't about the outward manifestation of something. The three of wands is a more passive card. It's a card more about patience, about waiting. It's a gestative period kind of card. And again, that would make sense and contribute to this feeling of being not necessarily stuck. It's just kind of antsy. I think for some of you, it's going to be waiting for something. You're waiting on the results of something, which is what the Three of Wands signifies. The card of waiting, of gestation, of having planted something, having invested in something, having done everything you can, all the work, all the investment. Perhaps you've made an offer in a relationship energy. Perhaps you've put all your cards out on the table and you're waiting to see what the results are. And it looks like that waiting period is just makes you feel very restless, kind of aimless. Again, for some of you, it's just going to be this kind of bored, kind of spring, restless energy. But for others of you, it's waiting to see the tangible results of something. And that waiting period, I mean, it's not agonizing or torturous, but it's just kind of like you can't, it feels like you can't move on anything else until you find out. And the Three of Wands is a card about having done everything you can. Put your cards out on the table. In relationship, perhaps you finally shared your feelings with another person. You put yourself out there. Maybe they need some time to think. You're waiting to see kind of how it plays out from here. For those of you, some of you, this is going to resonate because, you know, we have three wands cards, which could point towards career, artistic endeavors. You've begun something, or you've put out feelers about something, or you've invested in a project of some kind and you're just waiting to see what the results are. Perhaps you've applied for something, you're waiting for that. However it plays out for you. It's a card about waiting, and you're hoping that, of course, you're hoping that the returns are going to be good, but you don't know. But this card is falling in the upright position. So I do feel like for those of you who are waiting on the results of something in order to kind of move out of this restless energy of I want to move forward, but I don't know how, or I'm waiting to hear back on this thing before I move forward. I feel like the news that you get or the results that you get, this man's waiting for his ship to come in. He sent it out and he's waiting to see what's on it. Is it empty? Is it full? Is it half full? How is this going to pay off for me? How is it going to play out? For those of you who are in that kind of waiting mode, I feel like whatever comes back is going to be positive. It's going to be good. It's something that's going to make you, I think you're going to be satisfied with it. Now, right next to that, we have the King of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Cups. And I'm getting kind of this, it's almost a piece of advice, and it almost from the universe, and it almost feels a little parental. Um, it's almost kind of a just be patient, kind of ground down, don't go off and do anything spontaneous. Again, okay, I'm getting it stronger now, this sense of waiting. This waiting period is kind of difficult for you guys. You want to do something, move in some direction, but again, you're waiting to see what's on the ship when it comes back in. You're waiting for results. We have the King of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Paired together, I feel like you're just kind of, let's do the Seven of Cups first. Again, that suit of emotions, feelings. It can also point to love and relationships. It's kind of a similar energy to this Four of Cups, you know, kind of, for some of you, this is just a place of boredom, a place of dissatisfaction, like feeling like you either don't have a lack of purpose or a lack of having a sense of direction. For some of you, this is going to be waiting for this feeling is going to be represent this waiting period. We have the Seven of Cups here, which is a card. It can sometimes be a card of fantasy and illusion. It's a card of daydreaming too, which is what you're doing while you're in this waiting mode or this boredom phase. You're kind of daydreaming, maybe fantasizing. For some of you, this is just going to represent more of a mental, emotional energy of, I want to do this, I want to do that, or you're waiting for these results. You're kind of future tripping, as my kids would call it, or pre-writing the script on what might happen based on these results you're waiting for. It could go in this direction, that direction. This can be a card of having, some of you may have too many different options to choose from and just kind of leaving you in this place where you don't know what to do. but it's a card of kind of not being focused. It can be a card of feeling kind of scattered all over the place. And there's an element to it of not being realistic, not being grounded enough, and also sometimes of things of waiting for something that may not turn out to be as real as you thought it was. I, I think maybe for a smaller portion of you, I'm not getting a strong energy feeling off of that. But you can see on the front of this card, there's 7 cups, and in each of these cups is uh, something which represents the potential, the promise of something. And it's all perfect and it's all beautiful. Um, but that's not life. So it's all about grounding down. I keep getting that phrase in my head. It's all about figuring out what is the most realistic, what's the best for you. If this is being faced with a bunch of different options, it's about choosing the one that's the most real, the most grounded, because if it seems too good to be true, maybe you should do your research and make sure that it is before you invest a lot of time and energy into this. For others of you, this is going to resonate just as daydreaming or fantasizing. And the strong piece of advice that comes attached to the 7 of Cups is to be practical, is to manifest some energy of, um, narrow it down to one thing. Maybe you're having too much time spent daydreaming and fantasizing because you're in this kind of boredom place and you don't really know what direction to go in. Again, others of you, you're waiting on results of something and kind of fantasizing about what that might be. Maybe being tempted to go off in different directions before you thoroughly explore them to see if it's actually a good idea. And you're being asked to manifest more of a Pentacles kind of energy and being practical and grounded about this. And for those of you waiting, just to kind of wait it out because it doesn't look like it's going to last much longer. For a smaller portion of you, this is going to resonate in the relationship sector of your life. I'm kind of getting this feeling that you're in a relationship with someone. Perhaps you're in a relationship with someone. I think this feels very specific, so I think it's just oriented towards a few specific people who will be watching this. It feels like you're in a relationship where you're the one doing the majority of the work, or you're supporting somebody. It feels like maybe you're the one putting more into it than they are, and you're giving and giving, and you're not getting enough back, and you're just really kind of tired of it. You're starting to feel very depleted in this relationship. Um, Again, it feels very specifically oriented towards a handful of people, so those of you watching for whom this resonates, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, that 7 of Cups is paired with, in fact, it's under this King of Pentacles. Completely opposite type of energy than the 7 of Pentacles. Pentacles is governed by the element of earth, and it's all about things in our earthly, material, tangible environment, things we can see and touch and feel. In the relationship or spirituality sector of your life, you can apply these same energies. It just means we're talking about tangible results of investments, tangible results of an investment, whether it's resources, finances, money, or just your time, energy, and love. Kings can represent more mature, reflective individuals. Kings and queens have reached the mastery of their suit. They're grown-ups. They began as pages and they kind of worked their way up through the road of life, and they're now at the place in their life where they have control over whatever particular element they are. And this king has reached the mastery of the suit of Pentacles. So this is a very grounded, practical, realistic guy, very dependable, solid, reliable. There's very good provider energy, kind of father figure energy. The King of Pentacles in love and relationship, were you looking for a long-term relationship like marriage and parenting, he would be a great prospective husband or father. Again, very grounded, very practical, always there when you need him. You can always depend on this individual. For some of you, this might resonate as you, even though you're an air sign. Again, for some of you, I'm getting this caretaking feeling, this providing for somebody feeling, for someone feeling, and this energy resonating for you. And perhaps you're involved with somebody who's a bit of a dreamer and not that practical and nowhere near as mature or as far along the path of life as you are. And for others of you, this is going to represent you being asked to manifest the energies of the King of Pentacles, to manifest all those lovely, grounded, rooted, practical traits, to kind of ground down, choose a path, and stick to it. Or at the very least, while you're in this waiting period, don't go off and do anything spontaneous, because the King of Pentacles would be very thoughtful and weigh everything out before he makes a decision about something, about any one of these choices. that he's paired with. Now, right next to that is a combination of cards that's going to resonate more for those of you in relationships. We have the Major Arcana card of the Lovers, beautiful card, paired with the Six of Wands. So for those of you for whom this resonates as a more relationship energy predictively in your life, again, some of you maybe you're going through struggles with a mate, or you're going through a time period in your life where you just feel this restless, bored kind of energy. This coupling of cards, the Lovers comes paired with the Six of Wands, which is the Victory and Triumph card. For some of you, this is going to represent a very successful relationship, but a successful like reconciliation kind of energy. And again, for some of you who have put something out there and you're waiting to hear back on the results, some of you perhaps had difficulties within a relationship. You took a time out, or perhaps there's been a breakup of some kind, and you guys have done some work, you've invested some work into reconciliation or creating some closure or a meeting of the minds. Working through what's realistic and what's practical and what's best for the relationship. It will be successful. For those of you for whom this energy resonates that way, there will be a successful reconciliation, because the Six of Wands is accompanied by that Lover's card. It's a card of triumph and a card of success. It's triumph over something. So that is a strong indication that there was some kind of conflict of some kind. You can see this man riding back into town, triumphant over what? He did something that he had success or triumph over. He's been victorious over some kind of challenge or struggle or quest of some kind. And what would it be in reference to? For some of you, this is going to be the successful reconciliation or healing of a relationship, as it comes accompanied with the Lover's card, Major Arcana card, Fingers of the Divine. This represents a karmic soulmate type of union, more than just physical and chemical attraction, although from the appearance of this card, there's no lack of that. But this is about a meeting of the minds, heart, soul, and spirit as well. So for some of you, this is going to be the successful reconciliation or overcoming of a difficulty in a relationship, or perhaps the two of you together have been going through a difficult time, facing something, a challenge together, and both of you triumph over that. Or there's a reconciliation. For some of you, this is going to represent making the right choice about something, because in the early tarot decks, this card was not even called the Lover's card, it was called the Choice card. It depicted a man standing in front of two women. It was about making a choice, but we're not talking about it's a Major Arcana card, so we're not talking about the kind of choice that's like, what do I wear today, or, what am I going to have for breakfast? It's more of a change that's going to significantly affect your life and perhaps the life of somebody else. For some of you, this is going to represent perhaps all of these choices you make a choice and it turns out to be the right one. It brings you victory and triumph and success in something. For some of you, again, with that extra wands card, it's going to be creative endeavor or something to do with your career. Again, it's not coming across as, I'm getting just a variety of energies because there's almost an even balancing of the suits that are shown here. So it really could be anything, but it's success. Now, at or towards the end of May 2016, we have the Knight of Wands, followed by the Queen of Pentacles, which at first glance, I mean, in terms of individuals, they are two kind of different sort of individuals. We have, and again, even though you're an air sign Libra, I'm getting more of your energy off of this Queen of Pentacles, just like I did for the King of Pentacles. We have the Queen and King of Pentacles both in this, which is kind of the power couple in the realm of the material world, finances, structuring the day-to-day life of how your life actually runs. They're like the power couple. They've really got it all together. Good jobs, beautiful home, the kids always look good, the garden's always trimmed, etc. The Queen of Pentacles has also reached the mastery of this suit as well. If I were to describe her as an actual individual, this would be somebody who works either a part or full-time job. She does it successfully. She always looks good. The kids always looks good. She's a wonderful cook. The lawn is always manicured. She finds time to volunteer at the local church. I mean, she kind of does it all, and she makes it look effortless. And again, even though you're an air sign, I'm getting more of your energies for the sect of people that this applies to, who are taking care. I feel like some of you are in a relationship where you're taking care of someone, or you're the main provider somehow, And again, there's been some kind of challenge about that, where I feel like you need a break or something. It looks like, however this resonates, there is something successful happening at or towards the end of the month. Something gets reconciled, something gets fixed, a choice is finally made on something, you narrow it down, and it looks to be a very successful choice. Because we have this perfect marriage of disparate energies at the end. That Queen of Pentacles with that lovely grounded earth energy is paired with the Knight of Wands, which is that fire air energy and very fast moving too. Knights are associated with a fair amount of speed, but out of all four of the knights, the Knight of Wands, because it's fire and air, he is the fastest. As an actual individual, because for some of you, this is going to represent the other person in the relationship, whatever kind of relationship this is. And this could be a fire sign, which would be Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, or air, which would be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. And this could resonate as you too, although I feel it more primarily of a fire sign. Someone very, very passionate, creative, enthusiastic, able to inspire others. He's not quite a king, though. He's still sometimes a little impulsive, spontaneous, maybe prone to act before thinking some of the time. Very fast-moving, energetic, creative energy. And paired with this Queen of Pentacles, for relationship energy, I feel like you and your partner are very different in terms of personality and energy, and that sometimes causes a bit of conflict. Sometimes you reach the point, I think you were at the middle of this month, where you're just like, I don't know if I could keep doing this. But it does look like there is some kind of successful, again, reconciliation, working through a problem of some kind. There's a choice that needs to be made, and your choice is to stick, to stay. And for those of you for whom this resonates, it looks like that is the right decision, because you do have success and you do have a nice blending and harmonizing of these disparate energies. For others of you who are feeling kind of at that place where you want to go in a different direction, but you don't know which direction to choose. You're spending too much time kind of fantasizing and daydreaming, and you're being asked to be a little more practical and grounded and realistic about it, or kind of ground down. I keep getting that message, and set some goals and begin to outwardly manifest that. You're being asked to do that at or towards the end of the month, because your goal is to move towards the energies of the Queen of Pentacles, that lovely earth energy. But you must put in some outward manifestation of action in order to achieve that. And it looks like at or towards the end of the month, you're being asked to do that, or the choice that's in front of you to make, you need to act on it quickly. I'm feeling kind of a lot of speed. Whatever, for those of you that need to make a decision and it requires immediate action, you're being asked to do that at the end of the month, and it's happening very fast. There's a very fast moving energy. Um, so make sure to stay aware of that and stay on top of that. So if you have any opportunities, it looks like it's really, really successful, but it requires your acting on it quickly. Now, your overall crowning energy, it feels like such a scattered reading, because I'm getting so many different types of energies. Emotion, relationship energies, artistic energies, and career energies as well. And just kind of maybe for some of you, a life direction change too. And it's going to require a fair amount of strength, but the strength that comes from being kind of grounded. I think it feels like there's just energies all over the place this month, Libra, and you're asked to just be kind of keep it grounded, keep it even. I'm surprised not to see temperance here. It's about balance and harmony this month, and making the right decisions and being practical and not getting caught up in the energy of daydreaming and fantasizing and just being too scattered. Your crowning card is the major arcana card of strength, which is quite beautiful. It's also a card of self-acceptance and of coming to terms with your own demons, or your own the areas that you're weaker in, as embodied by her having kind of tamed the wild beast, so to speak. This is about moving forward. Again, I'm getting a fair amount of speed. It feels like maybe you've been stuck, or you're in this waiting period, but at or towards the end of the month, again, it feels like you just kind of take off, or you're being presented with an opportunity that requires your moving rather quickly on something. This is the kind of strength that comes from, it's not like a brute force, wave your sword around, look at my big muscles kind of strength. It's more about making a decision, being fearless, confident, moving forward immediately on that, fearlessly into the future with your head held up as hers is. This is I feel it's a very active card. I'm getting a lot of active energy off of this. And I always feel like she's in motion because of the flow of her dress and how her hair is streaming beside her, behind her. Moving forward, I think it's about forward momentum. It feels like I don't know if I want to say lazy energy, but just kind of that energy of not really doing anything, maybe dreaming, fantasizing, but not being practical about it. There's no swords cards in here. It's not like, which would imply more reasoning and being thoughtful and practical about it. But it looks like you're being asked to do that and to take action on something in a practical sort of way and stop spending so much time daydreaming or just being too scattered, which this reading kind of feels like. Uh, so Libra, I hope this resonated for at least some of you. If it does, please let me know because I feel like I just kind of went all over the place on this reading. But hopefully it resonated for some of you, gave you a little bit of insight and clarity on the next couple of weeks coming up. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, please click on the About sign for more information, and you can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I do readings full time, and I would be delighted to work with you and coordinate schedules so we can get you a reading as quickly as possible. And until I see you again in a couple of weeks for the June 2016 general reading, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life, Libra. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.